allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You're gonna end up doing that.
Catch myself. Roll call, looks like
Tony's not gonna be here. Darla said she'll be here, but she's
so approval of the amended agenda. I see that in your pack there's a
Just need on the policy and what the R was. Policies and regulations. Thank you. A couple of those are new, but one we do need to get approved tonight. That's wellness, and all that is an update. And then there's science materials update or purchase, and then some maintenance work for the summer. I think I dropped those quotes into the packet, but did not put it on the agenda. And then, of course, the maintenance summer order, I think, with us now looking at that a lot closer, you probably want to take a peek at it before and seek approval of that tonight as well, so they can get those purchases made.
it's for
Ready for you.
motion. Second. All in favor? Consent agenda items. Approval of minutes from May 26th.
motion.
Second. Motion. Second. All in favor? Approval of the bills.
So you will see I added another one on there today.
One you added was mostly the credit card,
Yeah, it's a credit card transaction.
which takes a little longer sometimes to reconcile.
Second. All in favor? Yeah, Darla. 35. Registration reports. Who's up?
I'll go first, since
You
I've
go
got
first?
summer school.
Doesn't matter.
Mine's short, so, we just ended our first session on Friday. We had, 9 health kiddos, I think these numbers are correct, I did not double check them with, Doug, but, 9 health kiddos that completed that credit, 12 personal finance, and 13 art/learning center. We had around 120 total, pretty consistent, anywhere from 118 to 120 the first half. They are starting to drop down second half. That's normal. They do that every year. So I kind of listed out there that the enrollment numbers, what each grade level is. Looks like we do have about 25 high school kids for the second half. A total of 87 doing field trips this year, getting ready to go on another one tomorrow. The kids are really liking that. I've had a lot of kids, pretty excited about being able to go once a week. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, it's going well. The teachers are liking it. They're liking to get down at 2:30. Liking that we shortened it a couple days. I even had a couple teachers say, I think I like that. I think I might get back into teaching it next year because of that. So, and that's what I want to hear, because I was afraid that I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to have enough teachers to do it this year.
It seems like your kid numbers are good.
Yeah, they're a little bit lower, but not
So is our enrollment.
not drastically, and our enrollment was lower. So yeah,
They like race cars.
yes they did. Yes they did.
Seemed pretty
Yeah,
exciting.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Some pictures of autographs inside.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're keeping the money this year because
Yeah.
We're not sending it out to a
That's what we
contract.
want to keep our money. So that's- Yeah.
Even better.
Mrs. Mercer is working with our junior high and high school literacy team, getting them signed up for a year-long professional learning through our PDC. Work's going to center around creating a comprehensive literacy plan. So looking forward to seeing the benefit of that work, but also the things they're going to learn along the way. It's not just writing a plan, but the things they're going to learn about, just high-quality literacy instruction along the way too. They reinforce some of the good things they're doing, but also give them some ideas, to add to their classes. So looking forward to the work that's going to do, provide for our kids. We are adding a feature of Infinite Campus, and this has been, it's kind of been in the works or discussed for much of the year, just feedback from teachers and different things. But the big component to the campus workflow, it's an addition, an add-on to Infinite Campus. There's different features, but a big piece is going to be the hall pass system, where we can, if a kid needs to go to the bathroom or go to the nurse, they get a digital hall pass. And if they're not back in an adequate amount of time, then we get an alert and go check for them because maybe they, went off somewhere they weren't supposed to. If there are some kids that we don't need to be out in the hall at the same time, then it'll recognize that and either deny a pass or not, based on that. We collect all kinds of data on kids and their passes. It's just going to help us better control how many kids are out in the hallways, which when I got here 2 years ago, I know that was a big concern about kids out in the hallways. It's gotten better. Just looking to tighten that up a little bit more too. There's some other things too that may allow us for some internal and external communication with the things that are within Infinite Campus. And so we'll be learning some of that, but the big push for that was the hall pass system. A couple weeks ago, I went to St. Louis for the FBI School Safety Initiative. So it was a one-day thing in St. Louis. So it's always beneficial just to hear what the experts are saying about what's going on in school safety and the trends and that sort of thing, but also just make some connections and with those that maybe will help us down the road with different things. Got several superintendent meetings or new superintendent meetings planned for the summer. I've already started some of that. I was in Jeff City for 2 days this week. There's a little bit more, coming up this summer too. I've got a finance day in July. I've also signed up the MOASBO and MASSA, the Superintendent Association and the
School finance.
yeah. So there's introducing a school finance academy this year. It's about 10 sessions, throughout the year, about monthly, some in person, some virtual. And so each session is going to focus on something different with school finance. So looking to do that to make sure I can get reacclimated and make sure that just learning the things that need to be learned, I don't let anything drop, So looking forward to that. I would say my first go around, several years ago, I feel like the associations in DESE could be doing more for new superintendents. And even though I'm not technically new, it's been a few years. I need to get reacclimated, but I've been impressed with what they're putting together, for new superintendents. So a lot of stuff coming up with some of that. We didn't get to have the parade for Newburgh Days, but we still opened up the building. And I'll tell you, we had a really good showing of alumni coming in. I know we had some from Cape Cod, some from California, some from Texas. I think there were a couple different people from Texas that didn't know that each other were here. They weren't together, but just hearing their stories was pretty fascinating. And there were some doozies of stories. And Mrs. Hildebrand was here. She stayed in the Hall of Fame. I walked around, and if they wanted to see a room, made sure it was open, and we just walked around with different groups, and that was definitely a worthwhile thing. It was pretty cool to meet some of our alumni and hear their stories. We mentioned before, Mrs. Brown and I, Ms. Smith, and some of our teachers have been exploring the idea of a weighted class system, and so we hope to have a proposal, coming up soon with
we bring the updated handbook, to a meeting. What we're really trying to do is encourage students to, and reward students for taking upper level courses that are not necessarily required. We have students that are, they could choose between biology 2 or PE, and they're like, well, I feel safe for taking PE because of my GPA. And like, we want them to challenge themselves and take that and not feel like, anyway, so, and we got some really good teachers teaching our upper level classes too. And I feel like our kids are missing out by not taking them as much as they can. So we're working on finalizing a proposal. We'll have that soon. Also updated some handbook as far as technical school registration. And so we've run that by our attorney as well. And we got that language we'll be presenting, the handbook as well. I think we're about done with that. The attorneys liked what we had, how we had updated it. So, and also, we had state track right at the end of the school year. We had some all-state finishes. So definitely want to mention Joel Brandt in the pole vault, Nate Killian in the javelin, and Laney Conklin in the 3,200 meter run. They had to finish in the top 8 of the state to receive all state honors. And so they did. So just a great way for them to finish their track seasons, and they're all juniors. And so they'll be back next year and have a chance to do it again.
Pretty good showing, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it was. And I know we've talked a little bit about our facilities, but to not have a track and have these, and there were several others that qualified for state. I know we talked about that at the last meeting, but
Yeah, you had a pretty good gang that went up there. I
yeah.
thought.
And so just to see the level of success these kids are having, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. All right, thank you.
All right, yep. I do just want to say thank you to each one of you for this opportunity to be here. It's my last board meeting, and so I just appreciate you all and the work we've gotten to do together for the last 3 years. I think it's been good work, and it's definitely been phenomenal for me to be a part of. I've learned, and when you think about towards the end of your career, opportunity to get to learn and to do this kind of thing, it's been really, really special to me. So I wanted to say thank you to you all for giving me this opportunity and a chance to work with this fantastic administrative staff. And our school has been just more than I can put into words. So I wanted to say thank you for that. I kind of did my report a little different this time. We didn't do the breakouts of all the CSIP areas, but instead just kind of did a little laundry list of some kind of where we are. I don't think anything's a surprise to you, but it might be nice sometimes to just look through it. But our district remains financially secure with significant reserves. I think one of the biggest things for me is our goal of retaining staff has become a reality. We're currently sitting in a place where when I was going through that years of service, trying to put down exactly where we were with that, right now where we stand, we have one person in the 1 year category. Like, that's really something. It's a really big change from where we were a couple years ago. And Crystal Brown is that one person sitting in that spot. We're glad that she is here and glad that she started.
I think she's okay to be that person.
Isn't that pretty cool? I think that's really cool. We could see why that happened, how that worked out. So that's a neat thing, I think, to just really to spend a minute to all of you. Kind of say that's something that really speaks highly of where we are right now as Newburgh schools. Instructionally, we're beginning to build some historical knowledge, because when you do have some retention, you can build that historical knowledge. We're no longer at the beginning stages of curriculum development, but as staff return each year, you can begin to develop your curriculum a little bit more. I think some powerful vertical conversations will be right around the corner, because you really have people who have more of a command for their curriculum and their standards now and really understand where the kids are and where they're going. Our facilities are in very good shape. And truly, I have to say, Carl is on top of things. I couldn't have asked for a better maintenance director. Mr. Dewar was doing it the whole time, guys. He's getting her done. He's just been such a great partner to me because he's always on top of it. And so I just can't say enough about the shape that our facilities are in, because he cares so much about making sure that they're in good shape. So I appreciate that. Technology, oh my gosh, where were we at? Rock bottom, or maybe a section below rock bottom on technology. What an improvement. Oh my goodness. With Dave, we're so glad, Josh was great for us, and then Dan to be here. I think we're looking at some stability for many years to come. And really,
I don't remember who found it.
you might have found Dave somewhere. I was gonna mention that, but since so thanks to Matt, we have Dave, and really where we're at in technology, I think we're finally up there where we should be, and I think we'll be staying there for many years to come. because we're just in a really great place. And Dan has been tremendous. I told him today, I said, I don't know how he's gonna make it through July. Because everybody, every time he walks in, they're like, Dan, I love you. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for everything you do. And I'm like, do you realize most of these people won't be here in July? He's just gonna be here with the custodians and they aren't gonna care as much.
They do actually.
So he's gonna be lower in August and gonna need all that bucket filling because, man, they put him way up here. So I want to mention technology because we should. That's been a huge, huge thing. Food service is much improved. Our contracted companies working so closely with the district, and they are very focused on providing better meals, and I think they're doing it. CACFP, we don't talk about that much in here, but guys, we added high school to that this year, and what that is are the meals at the end of the day. And so we were doing that with our elementary, but we couldn't figure out how to do it with our high school kids. We kept trying different things. It kept not working. We don't want to put a burden on the teachers. We're just trying to serve the kids better. We figured it out this year. We've served an awful lot of high school kids because of that. That's been an improvement for us as well. I would say the area of focus, just to kind of mention that, is going to be academic development. I think professional learning, I'm tickled that Joe Brown is coming next year. I'm tickled that Crystal is here and is going to be working with the curriculum on that because she has got a good toolbox of curriculum and instruction practice. I think is going to be outstanding. But I think that's the continuing focus. I think that's not a surprise to you guys. I think you're in the same place. Really being able to understand our assessment data and being able to utilize it better so that they can continue to develop the curriculum is important. Another area of focus for superintendent for you all is, of course, the new formula that's expected to come out early next year. That's going to probably set the tone then, or the pace, for the next 10 years or so. So that's a good thing to be keeping an eye on. And then finally, I just want to mention our professional development committee, which was nil to non-existent a few years ago. And it's an important piece to have that up and running well. It's always going to be something that has to be a collaboration with your principals because it can't just be a committee. But I think we're getting in a better place. I see them grabbing a hold a lot more and really digging into that. Well, then when you have the staff driving on that professional development, I think you're going to get a lot more activities that they're really going to have buy-in with. So I'm glad to see that really that work is improving. So again, thank you guys. I appreciate all that you've done for me and appreciate the support that you've given me. And I'm excited about where Newburgh is. And I told them already that next month I'll be in my house in Louisiana with my popcorn watching you guys on TV.
Thank you, Tracy. It's been a long time. It's been a good few years for sure.
Just add, Mrs. Brown just got back today from 2 days in Columbia to New President's Conference. She speaks very highly. It's really good.
I was trying to get ready for the board meeting. She came in just talking, and she was so excited. And it was fun. I said, to see somebody getting started in this, she was just tickled about all the things she'd been learning and doing. And I think we could have probably talked for a few hours if I had said, okay, we got a board meeting. She was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And you want me to jump in there? Yeah, okay.
Action item, yeah.
So every year we have to approve an alternative methods of instruction plan in case we went through some sort of a situation like the pandemic a few years ago. Do not plan to use that, do not want to do that. That way, in case we have to,
We
It's
have to
there.
have it.
it's there. Have to have it by DESI. There's nothing different than it was last year. We just need approval.
Motion.
Second.
Second, Adam. Discussion.
Matt says all in favor?
Yeah, all in favor?
There you go.
All
It
yeas.
It passes with 6-0. Next one, there's some MCE policy updates. Normally, I would have said, hey, here they are, let's get approval, but 3 of them are financial and procurement policies. Or, I lost my words. It's procedures that you guys might want to have your heads around before you go to approve. So I thought maybe you should table those. But the wellness is one that we have to have approved tonight because we have a corrective action plan in our food and nutrition services right now. And part of that corrective action plan is we have to have this policy in place. Well, MCE just came out with it. So for us to have that corrective action, if we can get that approved, that'll check off that box. It is an update to the former policy. Again, it's not the policy, it's the resolution or what's it
So
called.
all of the stuff in red is what's different?
That's correct. I gave you the red line copy.
Okay.
So you can see there are some things.
Yeah, a question I had was fundraisers.
I know.
And we have to say that?
That is the policy as it is written. Here's the thing, you could approve it tonight. Mr. Dunn could speak with Mickus and say, we don't like that, can we remove it, and then bring a new policy to you next month.
Because
And see, 'cause
another
that's gonna be a
question I
tricky
have,
one.
does FFA food qualify for, that's a huge fundraiser.
So very good question. I was thinking
I
more.
mean, that's
inside the
50 grand,
classroom.
right?
It's a good,
You know, whenever they do their little Valentine's Day fundraiser.
well, Beta does a lot too. Beta does brownies, track does a lot.
So
There are
there's
a
a lot
lot.
of things in there, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either. And it's
So-
new laws that have passed. And like I said, the reason I was kind of pushing it through tonight is because we wouldn't be able to check out that corrective action plan. So,
Now, the rest of it really wasn't it is what it is on that. It's not a big
It was
thing,
the
any part of
thing.
it. But that
Jumped out to me,
fundraiser
too.
part was a huge one.
so Doug, you could, if they approve tonight, you could call Tom and say, we've approved this because we had to, because of our food nutrition piece that we had to have done.
But we want to
But
consider
we
altering.
don't want we don't want this piece in there as a way to rewrite that policy for that portion of it, and just see what can happen there. So it's up to you guys how you want to move forward.
I mean, if we
could- I
have to
could
have
put on the
it
corrective-
for your thing, because this part isn't going to matter what you're doing.
It's
the
not.
need for it anyway.
It's just something that, there has to be a wellness plan in place, and instead of us going to the drawing board and writing one when there's a policy now update that's going to secure that, that's why I went ahead and said, let's do that.
And I guess you know which section we're talking about, Mr. Dunn.
2750.
It was going to be a lot for you all to manage as an admin team. There are changes to the way we do procedures because of this policy.
Tell me again what part you're looking at on that.
The fundraiser section where it talks about,
You have to go to regulation
Section.
2750, are you on there?
and it talks about things that I think it says you can't do,
It says you can't.
like cookie
Out of your
dough,
classroom.
pizza, and it's got to be USDA. It's got to meet the standard of some sort.
Yeah.
So a question that I have for the big one was, you know, because
That pizza sales and cookie dough can
the-
run a lot of.
the $1,500 fundraiser will be noticed. A $50,000 fundraiser will be heard. So,
Now, it does say during the school day.
so maybe we just need clarification.
Yeah.
Is it that we
Maybe you
just
could do
can't
it.
do it? Can the clubs do that, but they just can't offer it during the day during school?
During school
hours.
That's what it looks like when it says during the school day, so that you could be able to get by with it. And over here, it's adjusted also to during the school day.
So, whenever they offer it to the teachers, we're going to have to go on the down low on the back parking lot. The cameras can't get it. But if you need to know where that's at, if you need to know where that's at, the kids can tell
Well,
you.
there are
Sales. The meat. The
like
meat
the meat
sticks.
sticks.
Yeah, some-
Those are sold during the day.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. But that'd be
Yeah.
some questions we want
I
to
can check.
Meet
see
or
how that's.
exceed.
Can we alter it, or is it okay if we just don't do it during business hours?
It might also have something to do with the meet or exceed USDA Smart Snacks and School Nutrition Standard. It may meet it. You know what I mean? It may fit within that, so it may not be something to be excluded. I would say your brownies are going to be excluded now.
Yeah.
A lot of
I would say
pizzas.
candy.
Some of the pizzas may.
Possibly pizzas.
You know, because a lot of them do
drinks.
candy bar sales.
Yes, they do.
Yes, if we can. I would like to just get rid of that, but I don't. I mean, it's our policy. Can we approve it? See if we have to have it, then they tell us we have to have it.
Well,
We can approve it minus
I
section
wonder
F.
if I can show that we brought it, see, I can use the agenda to show that we brought it for approval. Then I can make a note that said it was tabled because of a couple of details in there and see if the corrective action plan can be extended to next month. That could be something.
Personally, I'm okay if we approve it. That way you have no hoops to jump through.
Yeah.
And then we alter it if we need
If we
to.
need to.
I would
Yeah,
imagine.
because
we
it's
are
not
the
going to
only school
affect
district.
anything until
Right
August anyway.
That's correct.
Every.
So,
That's correct. And I would imagine we're not the only school district who's saying what.
Yeah.
That doesn't fit with the way we
No,
do business.
You know all of them.
Well, most school districts. are saying the same It's serious, it's gonna hurt our kids.
Yeah, we can just bring it to our policy. Yeah, I think we can. We just amend
You
it.
can actually talk to Tom Mickus today, and we have to purchase a little program, about $400, that we purchase with them, and so when there's a policy that we just want someone to amend it, we can amend it in there and submit it to him. He reads through it, and if he can support that, he says, yeah, we can do it. So
Okay.
there is a way to do
That's
that.
easy.
Yeah,
And for
what
that
that'll show
price.
Is him calling me.
Yes.
What that would show is when it's on our website, when we make that change, where people go to our website, view our policies, and they click on that policy, it will show them what we changed it to.
You just have to be very, very diligent, make sure everything gets updated to the website, because you're not gonna be able to go to MCE and pull this policy and read it. It's gonna be Newburgh's policy, which is a little different than MCE's.
Yes.
Now, I would not be surprised if there's several people who are wanting to do that, so they might update their policy. but
Maybe it'll change.
You should have some leeway either way.
Anyway, I'm okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion. Josh, second. All in favor?
Because I don't want to hold up any other section.
Well, and I do appreciate that. That'll make it a little cleaner for us on our food nutrition.
Facility plan.
So I didn't do a ton about update on here, but I figured maybe this was a good conversation for us, where you guys might have looked at and said, ooh, we forgot to add this, we should put that. This was, began with the 2023 school year that we started noting down our goals and then noting what we completed or what was still in progress. And all we have to do for CSIP, I mean, we're always working on this, right? It's just that we have to actually officially say we're doing this, that we go to discussion at least once a year, a couple of times a year on our facilities plan. So if you go for goals of 2025, you can see the things where I've noted out to the side of what has gotten accomplished and where we are, and then goals for 26, 27 that we've just discussed over time, or things that I feel like were needed or that Carl might have brought up. And so if you, as you guys move through, if there's something you want to adjust or change, it's just a discussion item for us to make sure those changes are ongoing and checking off those lists as they get completed. And then I just do a couple of items on for 27, 28, just to be thinking in the future. If you all would like to add anything, I'm happy to change it. You guys want to just kind of look over it, bring it up later, whatever you want to do. I'll mention that bus cleanout, since we got started a couple of years ago, they've continued to do that. It's really been an ongoing thing.
Kind of wondered about that.
It's still in progress. It's not to the bottom, but I'll tell you.
I've been afraid to actually go look.
I'd say,
They've done a lot, and I'll tell you what happens is that anything that he can go and take to the recycling, that we get paid for it, it goes back into our asset
Sweet.
class.
Yeah.
So we're just trying, we're filling that, so he just continues, once he's gotten in that mindset, whenever he has a chance, he'll take the crew up there for a couple hours and they'll go do some more stuff. So I think things are still, there are cool
There's
things,
some antiques.
they're cool, but I
You know, I think that's what Carl thought too.
You couldn't even.
2023, when
No.
I got here,
No.
I opened the door and went,
It was good.
I've not looked for a while because I'm trying to keep my blood pressure low.
couldn't even walk through there.
I was gonna say,
I could not even walk through. I just open the door and I stand on the edge and go, how far back does this go?
Yeah, I know.
Always.
Well, and you know, people put things in the hallway in the fall and they say take them away. Well, he doesn't know what to do with them, so he puts them up there, and it was away.
What's in
There
water?
wasn't in anyone's
was
way.
times I had to clear stuff out of the batting cages so we could actually have practice.
I'm sure you did.
I can remember.
It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming.
It was something.
That's what.
It was something.
Under the approved Discovery School contract.
Okay, so I misread that. I thought we were just having a contract with them, but it was for the students that are actually there. So we won't mention any names. There are a couple of students that are there. These are the contracts for those students. So that's really what you're approving. It needs board signature and it needs board secretary. I did kind of make a note, and I think y'all are aware of who's over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention to that.
And there was just two, correct?
Yes, we have two. We had three because there was a foster student that moved into our district who was already there. We discussed, and we always try to bring them back in, but in this case, it wasn't possible to bring them back in. So we left them there, much older student. And so he was there, or she, I don't remember which, at that time, but they're no longer there. Because with foster, they move and change. So it'll just be 2 at this point moving into next year.
And the contract mentions some things like if needed. And so one of those lines is paraprofessional if needed. And for both of them ones, neither one of them need that. So that would not be.
Yep. So if you guys will approve those 2 contracts, that's just what we need to submit to Discovery School.
All right, is it okay to make a motion for both at the
Yes,
same
just,
time?
yes.
I'll make a motion.
Adam with the motion, Josh with the second. All in favor?
Okay, so what this is this is our current fiscal year 26 budget. If you'll recall, we had an excess in one of our funds. And so in order to, what you typically do is you zero that out so you can start the year, but you can't zero it out if it's on the plus side. And we were pretty significantly on the plus side. When we receive those monies, we can place them in which fund based on what DESI requires or the state law requires, how we can appropriate them. We had appropriated them all into this fund a little too heavy. So what this is an amendment to move those amounts, to shuffle them to the right fund based on what our current needs are. So this is all within the legal requirements of where you can place those funds. We had, again, just placed them a little bit top heavy in that one fund. So as you go down through it, anything, if you look through the item that is in red, is showing where there was an adjustment made. So the first place that you'll see an adjustment is in Prop C. You can see that that's been shuffled to balance out among the 2 funds. If you go down to basic formula, you'll see that's been shuffled a little bit to balance out among the 2 funds the way that you're allowed to do that. I did not make a copy for you guys, only because it's about 15 pages
I was
long
gonna
and
say-
it's that big.
That's why I didn't print it at home.
Yep, it's too little. So I thought you might open it and then do one of Doug's little squeezies and make it big for you. But I can tell you what other things were moved. So basic formula was then adjusted to where it balanced more in those 2 funds. And then classroom trust fund money was moved. It can be placed all in Fund 1, so we moved it to Fund 1. And then with our title services, the way we had anticipated spending that money ended up being different than how we ended up spending it with our, as far as personnel. So we did the shuffle with the amount that we could move over to Fund 1, and we used it for supplies. We already spent it, we just had to shuffle it in the budget so that it was in the right fund. And then tuition to other districts, we could place all of that in Fund 1. So by making those changes, what we did was we were able to put that Fund 2 where it needs to be. So now it's in a slight negative, which is where you anticipate ending the year. So if we approve the amendments, then we'll approve the zeroing out. We'll be at 0 where we need to be to start the new year. That's just something that you do every year. If you have an excess, like we had this year, typically you have a deficit in there. And so you zero it out to bring it out.
Okay, and that doesn't change our reserve balance because it's the same money.
It's the same money,
We just moved
but
it
instead
to a
of
different
putting
area.
75% here and 25% here, we said, oh, let's put 90% here. Because that's all within the legal way that you can spend that money when you receive it. They have to give districts a little bit of leeway because they have different size personnel and different needs with their buildings. So they give you that leeway to place it where you need it. Since we're still in fiscal year 26, we can amend this year's budget and fix our problem.
So that takes care, and we don't have to worry about that.
Don't have to worry
adjustment
about your
things we
future.
were talking about before.
That's
Okay.
right. Fixes it all. Didn't think we could do it in 1 year, but we did.
So I'll make a motion.
To amend the fiscal year 26 budget
Mhm.
according to these amendments, yeah. What?
Hey.
Emily's the second.
I wasn't sure whether
She's gonna second it too.
I had to
You moved
let
to
that
number one.
register for a second.
Darla, you moved to number 1.
I did.
Only my- Oh, hold on.
They got so excited.
Help me out. Help me out.
Hello. Let's go to the
All in favor?
Still shocked that ours made money.
All right, I guess the next thing that would make sense would be to amend our budget to the actual amount spent in each of those. So if we can get a
Motion.
motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Carl with the motion, Adam second. All in favor?
Man, she's getting scared away now.
She's on it, yeah.
The next one would be to zero out Fund 2.
I make a motion. When it comes to money,
You're on it.
I'm on it.
She's darn on the spot.
James, second, all in favor?
I'll let somebody else get paid tonight. You can pick up, Dusty. You gotta earn your zero check, buddy.
Auto transfer.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were ready for me. Yeah, every year we can move a certain amount over to Fund 4, 7%. And so this would just be giving permission to move that money over to Fund 4. We want to make the full amount.
I'll make a motion. Nah. Like,
We're waiting on you. Second.
All in favor?
Meal prices. So, each year, we've been trying the last several years to close the gap a little bit. We're never going to close the gap on what we're getting charged, but we raise it a dime is what we're allowed to raise it. So this is breakfast and lunch for elementary and high school, raising it by a dime, and then we will do the adult meals based at what Oprah charges us. So there's a little chart that kind of shows you what that's been looking like over the last few years. You can see what Oprah charges, you can see what we're charging our students. You can see there's still a difference in those two amounts, but 10 cents is what we're allowed to increase. There were many, many years where we did not raise that at all. So we're pretty far off of where Oprah is, but my recommendation would be to go ahead and raise that another 10 cents. They can raise it a lot more than we can.
what's the percent of our students with?
71% at the elementary, and about 50-something% at the low 50s at the high school. Now, it's probably because they don't fill out the form.
Yeah, because it's down from what it used to
Was
be.
before.
Yeah.
Okay.
You always ran about 80.
Ran about 80 before.
What would that be, Tracy? Because I do put that in my.
What's that?
If they pass it to raise it 10 cents, what would that be?
It's right there in the board packet that I showed.
Oh, you've got it.
Right there, Steph.
See, I have to start empowering these people to find it.
So many parents.
Now we know who did look at the work.
You know what? She started putting
Too late.
her report in the right spot. I mean, it's a lot. I should have put that on the things that have improved over the last year.
Oh,
Video in here.
Yes, there is.
Boy.
So can I ask a question? Do you, whenever kids are registering,
Do we
They
push
come
it
in,
hard for them to
right?
fill out the
Right.
forms?
Like-
Absolutely. We not only push it hard, but with Miss Dawn at the helm, if there's a student that's having any difficulty, she calls the family and says, hey, here's the form, fill it out.
and you have a
Probably
whole section
qualify.
of registration for that, right?
Yes.
You have a whole area just for that.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We really push it hard to make sure our families understand that they can get assistance with this. We also have, if you recall, Melissa's Wish Fund that Tony set up. There's some money in there that can help students. And then there's also another fund that we have from the past where people have put money in there to help students with lunch bills. So those are things that we try to take care of our kids well. But with so many of our kids qualifying for free and reduced,
How many meals you serve?
oh, it's a monstrous amount. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, I'm
You
sorry.
know how many meals we serve in a month?
You could go per month, because we just had it on our bills.
And we've had some OPA reports that show how many lunches and
The
stuff.
number.
18,000
Yes,
also, but. I don't know how
So
many
for May, which is a little shorter, we served 1,993 meals, almost 2,000 meals. That's just lunches. And then breakfast, we served almost 1,200.
and that was just for May, which was
Yeah, that's
like
just
how
for
many
May, which is
school
shorter.
days?
shorter month.
We could-
At some point, I would love,
Could be 5 or 6 bucks. 10 cents is what it.
Yeah. at some point, and it's something maybe you all can look in the future, but you can look at qualifying for, I think it's called CEP, where maybe we could have free meals for our students. We haven't jumped through that hoop
Get them to quit
yet,
raising
but I
the
think
prices.
that's something that would be valuable for the community.
Absolutely.
Could be a way to go. I believe it's CEP.
We're already-
Well,
we're
and I
already-
just think that
it's
there's,
quite a bit different.
like, we got to a point with
Yeah, we're
our
charging
early
what we give
childhood
back to
students, we just required the parents to fill it out.
Yeah.
Like, we
Sure.
made it a requirement, like, hey, this helps us. And so Because I think some parents didn't realize that they actually qualified.
It's definitely educating the parents is a really important piece
Yeah.
of it. You can't just assume. And I will say about of the different places that I've been, I think our district, this district does the best job of really trying to make sure parents understand. I also think it's very commonly accepted here.
Yeah.
People
And,
just
and
don't
Miss
know.
Donna, I'm telling you, I witness it
I do too.
every
She's
day.
on it.
Miss
Yeah.
Donna
All
gets
year
it
long,
done.
she's bringing down new forms that she
Yeah,
just
but
got.
I mean, she knows every single one of
Yeah,
them
she does.
personally.
And she has
She
that
does.
relationship with them
Oh,
too,
yeah.
where they feel comfortable doing it with her, and it's just.
You're not gonna tell great grandma no.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly.
No, and she's looking out for your best interest and they know that.
Yeah.
So it just really does
Yeah.
work pretty well, but,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys can leave it if you wish not to approve it. It's
I
okay
have a
either
little
way.
different mindset on it. I just feel like if we can, district can buy volleyball nets,
Yep.
new court pads or something, we could spend $4,000 or $5,000. That's just mine. That's just my
I
thoughts
agree
on
with
it.
that.
I don't think that's wrong.
I've
not
never-
a mountain of money.
I've never enjoyed raising cost, even though cost goes up for us.
We shouldn't incur
It's
that.
just a
We
tough-
shouldn't push that on.
And I think I think that's okay. I was gonna say, I think what gets hard for us is that the contract service can raise it as they wish, and we're only allowed 10 cents. So you just have to
Yeah.
keep that back in mind. So if you tried to close the gap sometime, you won't be able to. So the further you get away from that, the further you get away from it.
So how
That's the
quickly
problem.
with
Yes.
the CEP program, like what hoops do you have to?
I haven't jumped them, so I'm not sure, but I do know other districts that do it, so it's possible. Say it's something to investigate, to get your head around, to get Shannon to go to a couple of, Shannon's taking the brunt and the bulk of all of our food service. So getting her maybe to go and check this out,
So
find
I
out what
think
it
we need
entails.
to look at.
I think it's
I
very,
just think if there's a 71%.
I was actually surprised we didn't have it, but there's been too many things, so we just haven't ever
Yeah.
stored it.
Right.
But I think it's
It's
something to do.
actually not very
Just to see if we qualify. I believe we would, just because I'm
I
thinking
think
about
we
other
would.
districts that do get it.
Yeah.
I believe that we probably fall in the numbers that we
because we're
qualify,
only
so it could be
out of
a.
all.
be a great-
No, I definitely.
And I love CACFB and I love the weekend meals. We do all of that. I think it really starts our.
So five-
So April, out of those 500.
I don't know that, but
No, she did not.
It's like how many are we actually?
It's going to be most of your breakfast, and that's because most of our high school kids don't eat breakfast. So most of your breakfasts are from the elementary students, so
But out of all-
71% would have been.
really enjoy
Well, that's my question. Is how
That's
how
right.
much are we really looking? Because 70% of your kids are free reduced. We're there's 25% out there.
Well, and
It's
on
really not
average,
that much.
I think we
Well, it could
Okay.
be that only the elementary qualifies to possibly, I can't remember where those thresholds are. Like some schools, there's only certain buildings that qualify based on what those free reduced lunch counts are. And it doesn't reimburse 100% of the cost either. So those are decisions that district has to make. Like, if we do CEP, we're going to expect to, put this much in the bill, that sort of thing. We're going to get reimbursed this much, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah, but I don't think we're still gonna be out that much.
but we definitely explore it. I make myself a note.
So
Okay.
is this something that we have to
Nope.
decide tonight?
no, the only thing, we usually do it in this month in preparation for the future. They've got handbooks and things to get out, and then we always let our families know. So, but if you guys, you can sell it.
I don't think it's settled. I mean, it's just either we want to or we don't. Personally,
Yeah, I meant some, yeah.
Say leave it. Say leave it. Price it.
What are we at right now?
It's in the forward.
Package.
Trying to access my packet.
I have a copy right here.
Miss Wright can point it out to you.
We are currently charging elementary $2.60 for lunch, and we're charging middle school and high school $2.85 for lunch. And for breakfast, everyone is $1.85.
Can help them raise it to whatever they want.
Yeah.
When did we raise
No,
it
they
the
can
last
raise
time?
their
Last year.
The costs are passed on.
So the
We've changed
several
each
years.
year that
we-
I've been here.
Several years.
Prior
Yeah,
to
I
that,
know
you
you
all had
did
raised
review
it.
it.
Then we started going up some, then we started, it's just.
Leave it the same price.
And do we have OPA, like contract wise, the prices don't change for next year? Like,
That's our
do
set
we
price for
know
next year.
right now what we're gonna be
Yeah.
charged?
Yep,
This
Oprah
price-
will be $4.11 for lunch across the board for students, and it'll be $2.90 for breakfast.
They went up.
You can see, yeah, they went up
15
about
cents.
11 cents on breakfast and 15 cents on
So
lunch.
it's normally pretty close to what we raise.
Uh,
Their raising price is normally pretty close. It's not the same, it's always more, but it's pretty close.
But we didn't raise prices for some.
And you can only do a dime a year at the most.
That's kind of correct, Josh. We were never, so when we self-performed it, we were in such a deficit.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
that's true. There was no. you
There was
couldn't
no,
charge
there
it.
was no win.
Then we started contracting it. Oprah, their first price was already substantially higher than what we was charged. So we could never catch up to that.
Yeah.
DESI has a calculator.
Well, can we sort of make that a priority this summer?
Yeah, we can look at it.
I mean, I would just like, if we can take advantage of that, I know we've had lots more priorities that we had to focus on, but
We can definitely run the
I think
numbers.
if we can run the numbers and then maybe next month, that'd be amazing if we could offer
Great service
that
for
to
your
families.
family.
But, I mean,
Another
we
big
just need-
positive for Newburgh.
Yes.
And Matt, what, on your numbers, what would we eat?
You're talking about like 25%.
Yeah. What would be the cost of that?
Well, it's not very much.
It's pretty good.
We have somebody free and reduced.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like 15, 18 for the year.
For the year?
Yeah, it's not very, less than $2,000, I believe. It's not.
I think we eat it for this year.
Unintentional.
That's your motion?
I make a motion. We eat
Or do you
it.
just not motion?
We don't have,
I make a
I don't
motion
think-
that
I don't think you make a
not-
motion.
we don't have to do
We
it.
just leave it.
Yep, you just.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you would approve the price. That would be what you'd want to do.
Okay, I make a motion that we
Remain with the 25.
remain, yes.
Second.
All in favor? $27 certified salaries.
You have a copy of that, that only show that it is unchanged, other than the requirement for minimum for a master's plus 10 years of service increased to 47,000. So that is adjusted on there.
I'll make a motion to approve. Not on, not uncertified, should be on the class.
All in favor? Classified salary schedule.
Same deal, there are no changes to that schedule at all.
We can approve it. I mean, we still have enough. I'll make a motion to approve.
No, never mind. Darla's got her hand up.
Carlos, second, all in favor? Dustin's gonna,
Abstain.
Oh, Kevin, I was sitting here going, who?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, she's pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I just listed it so you could do it whenever you all wanted to do. There was a variety of things that you could First copy you have there is your, put it on the top of it to try to help you keep track of which was which. Flat pay addendum. If years of service, pay protection, that just shows what goes on with the certified staff. The next one that's a little bit half the size is your classified staff. This is where you had the amounts that you gave last year, 1,500 and 750. That just shows what you did last year, and if you doubled it this year, what it would look like. Or that ends up being, and then you have a third one that just shows your years of service at Newburgh, which we put into place a couple of years ago, and everybody has been updated there, and that has certified and classified all on the same sheet. It shows you how the cost is.
With these addendums, wolf money stays the same.
Nope. If we did these, if you did this one, I adjusted the wolf money to be that they wouldn't lose money. So that's the only thing that I did. If you did the full doubled amount,
That would just be one.
yeah, if you did that, it'd just be one addendum, and you would do away with the years of service. If you wanted, and again, you guys can present it how you want. You can say we want to give a flat amount, we want to give years of service and a flat amount, we want to give, however you guys want to do it.
I'd like to see us stay with 2. Just because of the simple fact there may be a time that we can't do both. And so it would be a little easier to separate that at that time. And the wolf addendum, the years of service, is really not for pay adjustment, it's for loyalty and longevity. That is what the purpose of that one is. It's not to raise the base or anything like that. It's
Different purpose.
that's why it's called the wolf addendum. It's for being a wolf. You know, that's why we have that. So I would like to see us keep that one and then look at if we want to do a stipend or something else, then do that separate. And then that could be, each year that may change itself, but the wolf pay would stay basically the same. That's what I would like to see. Raising the stipend part.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that.
Keep the years of service where they're at now. And add $3,000.
I can't say that I'm opposed to that, but it's going to get into a little bit of money.
Let's
And
see how it
the
goes.
big question I have is, so if we do 3,000, but the next year we can't do any, is it going to be hard for our staff to absorb a $3,000 hit? That's my concern. Can we do it? Maybe. But that's a concern I personally have. I don't know what the rest of you think. Now, I want to give our staff as much as we can. I want to do that. But, you know, currently our staff's pay is 70+% of our budget as it is. You know, so I know it looks like we got a ton of reserves on paper, but that's not going to be. You know, I know you had in one of your notes that we're looking at like a $95,000 deficit. Look at some of funding these things.
If you did not do the years of service and you went with doubling the amount and then catching up anybody with their years of service so they don't ever make less, with both classified and certified, that's when you would have, actually, if you did that, you left out the years of service and you did it, I'm sorry, you did the 3,000, the 1,500, and the years of service, you would be at a deficit budget of 95,000. That's right.
If that's something we can do for a while. That's just what I'm thinking about.
Get the rate of birth going.
We're not this year. This year we would
Next
have,
year it's gonna
you know, now, because I think
This one.
part of the problem is it looks like
Just- Just for this budget.
yeah, I think part of the problem is it looks like we're growing our reserves and we've just done so great. We have done great. I'm not saying we haven't, but we've had a lot of help. And, you know, the reason we have a high number is because of that help. That help is gone. So we're starting to see a true budget this year.
Yeah.
And next year will be even a truer budget.
it'll even be, yeah.
So,
Last year's budget was pretty true. I will just throw that out there. You guys were seeing the true budget thing.
yeah.
I think the first year that I was here, we saw the last of the
gone from receiving, but still
sitting
still
in.
present.
Yes, that's what I mean, though. It was still,
Exactly right.
it was still floating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's where I have caution. Well, if we think we can do it, I'm okay with it. I'm cautious to do it. So,
Well, being the addendum like that. Instead
What?
of just taking
I just
it
think
away.
it's hard to,
what I personally, this is my personal thought. I would like to do the years of service, leave that in there. Pretty much everybody's going to get money from
If you begin.
and then basically table the addendum or stipend till mid-year, because we did it last year about mid-year. In December, we're going to get the foundation formula that comes out that tells us how much we're going to make for money, basically. And then do we feel comfortable at that time, 1,500 or 3,000? And then make it happen. I think the intent is to give them as much as we can. But what that is, I don't,
We don't-
personally, I have a hard time setting that today for myself. I would like to do it in January after the foundation formula comes out and we kind of know how that's set.
During the
Fiscal
school
year,
year,
you always
do
do it
a lot of
right now.
reports.
We did it last year before.
You did it in
We did it.
either July, I think it was July that you did it then, but it's got to be like early in the year, or else
It's a lot of
It really
reports
messes up the
that you
accounting.
have to have
Unless
all your
it's
information figured out.
and all of our reporting that we have to do happens earlier. So I think you could wait till July. You could look and see if you can wait till August, but I can't imagine you could.
stipend part of
It
it.
will not be a stipend. A stipend is for a service that you provide. What we're doing is trying to make an addendum to the salary schedule that doesn't stick. So we're not making a base raise, we're not making an hourly raise. We're saying this year's a good year for Newburgh, so we have an addendum to the salary schedule. So that's what it's called. It's just called an addendum.
By doing an extra $1,500.
What I did was I left that 15 in from last year and added another 15. If you look at that one, your total cost is 110. It's just kind of a hard thing to compare because really when you look at the bottom line, it means more.
It's actually going to be about 48,000 if we do the extra 15. It's going to be 50 grand.
That's, if you look at this one, it kind of shows you that at the bottom.
Yeah.
Is that 47,000? So that's really.
Between certified and non-certified, it's going to be about 50.
Yeah.
Is that including taxes and
No, it
retirement?
doesn't bring in benefits.
That's just straight money.
Saying we're to 90,000. To raise the teachers.
Just for the year, that you've got budgeted for next year.
Yeah, it's just a 1 year, so 1 year, because it's an addendum. It's just a 1 year
But you
deal.
said we'd be at a $90,000 deficit.
Yep.
And this is only, just say 50,000.
You want to know where the other,
No, I'm just, I don't care where it goes, but I'm just saying. I think our teachers be worth that $50,000.
See, that's where I'm having a difficulty though, too, is you trim back 3 positions, which is more than 100 grand. But then we're showing $100,000. That's where I have a problem. as
We'll not
well.
have to, you have to bounce, our tax rate should go up. Because we got that big reassessment. But we couldn't realize that windfall. So you had to trim back. So you're going to keep going forward and closing the gap up again on your tax rate. So that will increase. But I have to be somewhat conservative.
See, that's where I'm having a hard time, right? Because we started last meeting at 60 grand. to the good. And by this meeting, almost 100 grand to the bad. We've
I
eliminated
brought
three
in the
staff.
58,000 from the
Yeah,
years
but
of
that's only
service.
60. We went from 60 to the good to 98 to the bad. So that's 150,000 in between with only $60,000.
Just remember, I hate to, when I put out that last year, I hadn't done all the updates. And I mean last year, last month, when I put that out, I hadn't done all the updates. That was just where we were sitting right now, nothing really changed much.
Okay.
But things do have to change, like we had to increase our medical insurance. We had to, you know, all the things that I hadn't put in there yet. So all of those adjustments were made. And so this is just where we sit right now. And maybe the next,
I know it's a lot of work, but it's still really messy, kind of.
It's so messy.
So, like,
You know what's
I know you
clean?
put a ton of work
a
into
ton of work. You know what's
But
clean
it's
is you
really
put money
messy.
on the base. That's why you do it. Is you put money on the base, you can immediately see what the change is. And then you see that all your people with stipends get the increase as well. And we've done something that's really unique by putting these addendums on. We've done something that said we can pay our staff when we can pay our staff. And so that's a nice thing to do. However, it does make the whole thing very difficult. It's difficult for me to manage all those pieces and try to give you guys accurate information because it's clean when you can go $1,000 per base.
And if it's, we do reap a little benefit of it going on the base as far as when people are looking to come to Newburgh, they don't see none of these.
No,
So
no.
it advertises our pay
They see 33.4.
correct, or better, in my mind. And there's, if it's never going to go away, or if a portion of it's never going to go away, then I think it does need to go to base. If it's going to get, but I don't know. This is just really messy for me.
Well, I'm okay doing the years of service and doing the Heather on the base. If we want to start doing that. But I want to keep the years of service. I want us to have something that want our teachers to keep here if they want to, you know, it's not a lot, but if you stay for a few years, you can make another $3,000 or $5,000, you know, so on top of what you're doing.
I don't have a problem with that.
I would rather do that. But I don't understand. The problem I have is if we put it on the base and we have the difference that's paid up to the 40,000, so we're at 33.4.
Yeah.
We put our 1,500 there. The person that's making 40,000 doesn't see the difference of the $1,500. Correct?
Mhm.
Currently, they do.
That's true.
That's kind of why that's really what
That's
started
why
this
we
whole.
See,
That
that's
is what started it.
yeah. So then we're taking away $1,500 for the people that are getting the 40. So are we helping anybody by doing that?
Mhm.
Or are we
April.
just giving money away?
Yeah, but
Be a
April-
lot.
But I do think at some point you have to put it on the base.
Got ourselves in a unique
Yeah.
situation. Not really.
Not clean. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of, it's like,
I know it's a big whack at one time, but I would rather pay our people and they see the difference today and then we catch us up at one time if we have to. We do have the funds to absorb that. That's why I've been opposed to the base pay thing. I mean, it's going to be a pretty good whack to our budget, but we can currently do that. And if we manage our money well, we can do that for quite so many years. And then we can give the people the money that they see the difference on their 13th check. That's what I see. And, I said a minute ago I'd do the base, but I'd rather leave the wolf pay as it is and give our longevity loyalty pay and do whatever with the other. But I mean, personally, I'd like to keep it as we did last year. If we change that 1,500 amount,
Keep the 15 of those.
whatever, but I would like to see it paid out the same as we did last year.
With the two.
Whatever those amounts are, I'm not opposed to whatever that might be that everybody, but I'd like to see it paid the same as last year.
That's how you have it, isn't it, Tracy?
And it's different.
She has this one.
Yeah, I put it together, but,
Yeah.
I have added, it isn't accounted for yet, but it is all placed in the budget now. This wolf addendum is in there. It's just not accounted for, and then, but you all don't see that, right? If you looked at it, it's showing a negative, 38,000.
No, because- yeah,
We
58
just
too.
need to decide on a
Yeah.
amount for one addendum. Outside of the wolf
Okay.
money, so you're
Yeah.
saying? That's-
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to, I know it's more work for April, and I'm sorry. I apologize, but I think it gives our people the money better. Because if we add it to the base, the 40 granders don't see the difference. They'll actually take a hit, I think, on what they saw last year. So I don't want to do that. You know, if we think we can do the $3,000 this year, okay.
Well, and you know,
I'm a little concerned about next year, but
you would, you wouldn't have to necessarily do 15 or 3,000. You could do 2,000.
Yeah, that's what I
You
mean.
could
We
come
can
up
set
with a
that-
different
we can
amount.
Set that price, whatever we feel
Yep.
comfortable with.
So you don't
I
have to
would-
double. I think it would be
To
hard
me,
to
it's a
go
lot.
below 15 because you gave it, and if you can, that might be a nice thing to do.
I'm gonna let you guys fight that. I'm fighting for the wolf pay.
Well, I mean, I like the wolf pay too, because I do think it's an incentive
Yes,
for
I do.
them to be like, okay, I want to stay and build up those years, just because we're not in a place where we can compete with like Rolla
Yeah.
or Wentzville.
And the big part is like our teachers that have been here for several years, we're just saying thank you.
Well, and
You know,
Yes.
because they reap the most
Absolutely.
benefit from that, which it
Yes.
should be. That's what it's designed for. But hopefully some of our mid-level ones can see that and say, you know, I'll stick around. So I enjoy the staff and I'm going to get an extra check to spend on my
Yeah.
vacation over the summer. In my
so
mind, it sounds great.
the question I feel like is, I guess I'm just a little, I want to get the teachers money, but I'm also a little leery of just the cost, because I don't want to have to next year to take it away. I feel like we're kind of right on the cusp of this
It's
year,
very
next
possible.
year, to know what the
Yeah.
next 5 years are going to look
It's
like.
very possible, but again, it's very possible that we don't have to.
I know, but to gamble
maybe we
right
alter-
now, I feel like
Maybe we
this
alter that
is
number.
set, and I think they were. I mean, last year they got more than probably what they ever got before, right? With this and the wolf, so I say let's at least maintain what we have in place.
And most of them, but Miss Brown, are actually going to get more money this year because she's the only one that's on the zero level.
Yeah. I'd say if we can maintain it, yay for us. I just feel like this year, next
Keep
year.
your 15 and keep the 750 is what you're thinking.
Yeah,
I got it.
I mean, I would love to say now, like, hey, let's give you that extra, but I'm a little,
Keep in mind 1,500 it cost us close to 1,900. Really, cost.
With benefits and everything.
Yeah.
So, like, just keep all that in mind when you're calculating. That's not true.
but I just think if we can maintain what we did last year, because I think they were pleasantly surprised, or at least appreciated those pieces. I don't know if that's just me, I don't think I'm comfortable raising it this year. I think we need to maintain what we have in place.
Service. $3,000.
You know, here's something I could do. If you wanted to approve the 1,500, 750, give him it to clean it all up, that you could see what it's going to look like and decide if you want it to be a little bit more. Make sure everything's accounted for. Like it's all your benefits accounted for as well. Next month, if you want to do more than that would be, you all be approving the 15 of 759. We all know exactly, you did it last year, so we trimmed down staff, basically doing nothing different except they all got their stuff. not, but it does give you all cleaner numbers to discuss next month. Get all this tidied up in the budget. Look at what the bottom dollar is.
I'll just put it out there. I make a motion to get a year of service like it is.
Say, go ahead and clarify that again.
To get your years of service like they are. Years of service. Add the $1,500 to get 3,000.
So do the 3,000 for the certified staff.
Yes. 1,500. She asked me, but it'll be the two of them.
And then I'll wipe out the pay protection. That'll be gone. Okay? Because you gave the years of service instead.
Which is 20 grand. So we got a motion, we got a second. Yes, that's everybody. Now, the thing is, you're not voting for her specifically. It's a thing for the entire district. So this doesn't qualify for that. You're just voting for the district. Everybody gets the same. It's not anything special for her.
I second. Okay.
All in favor?
Carry.
Now,
What's your thought? Leave it like what we're saying just a minute ago, like it is, have her get us solid
just do an addendum or a change to it next
I think
month.
we can do a change to it.
Suggestion. Addendum.
I'm okay to do that.
So I'll make the motion that we maintain what we have. And then just the
So we'll
1,500.
use the service, $1,500 certified, $750 classified.
Yeah, and then
We'll
Knowing that
revisit
you'll
after
clean up
we see
numbers
some
and
true
then-
See what
numbers.
numbers we
It's all
have,
budget.
change it.
Put that all up.
We think we can.
Then you can tell us our deficit and then what it would be if we increased it by X,
You can
X
really see,
dollars.
really, be able to put it in there too, so you can see how the benefits are.
Yes, that would be very great.
that's what I would like.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Opposed?
Yep. I could find, have made, you know,
Hold on, one question. I saw that you have two admins that have $0, but two admins that have dollars in your projected
okay, let me see.
billing.
Help me with
I was
where you're
wondering
at.
why there's two that do and two that don't. On the teacher side.
I mean, let me track back in
In
my
your
brain.
proposal, you've got two that do and two that don't have money. I'm curious why they don't. Because we have new brand new teachers.
Sorry, it was so long ago, I don't remember. It might have been because it was just new hires. And we don't have any new hired teachers. I think that's what we,
We do. We do on our list, and there's a number by their name.
okay. Honestly,
Just
don't
curious,
remember.
maybe
I
we
don't
need to
remember.
make sure that we're
It was
doing.
probably wherever my brain was in that moment. $1,500 is across the board, those we just did. That all will cover the budget.
This one. This one.
this person right here. Probably wasn't even on there at that time. Yep, you're right. My brain was a few months ago.
But I think because
It's
it's,
across the board. it's
we're
across the
doing
board.
it, we're doing it across the
It's
board.
across the board. Yep.
Just wanted to clarify that.
I'm glad you did, because I needed that clarification.
That you asked. But then she.
Budget questions?
Estimate to the best of our ability. I actually have a 2% increase for taxes. I think that's very, very conservative. Especially when you go to raise the tax rate. So at this point in the year, I want to be a little conservative just because the future's unique. Otherwise, I've just updated everything to the best of my ability. I want to anticipate those revenues to be looked at expenditures, where those fall. To the best of my ability, again, anticipating things that they put together a sheet for me that said these are things that we anticipate next year to be above and beyond. Those are
And there really wasn't anything that's
wasn't terrible.
big or stood out.
Nope, wasn't big stuff. Increased deck budget just a little bit for supplies, like we have some audio equipment we want to buy, things like that. Adjusted some things on the next agenda items that are there, but those are really capital expenses. As far as the summer maintenance. Otherwise, again, just to the best of my ability, everybody's updated in their personnel files on here. For their current year, we had, or for their, which stuff that we have. We have one staff member that may end up with a master's degree, but I said we're not going to update that until that comes through. We see a transcript. Otherwise, everything is.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Take it away, Miss Tracy.
Sorry, the Inspire Science, as I mentioned, and you can see it in your read along, that'll just come out of the budget that's already there for textbook. Mrs. Wright's not anticipating a lot of other purchases out of that this year. So what she was hoping to do, and you can speak to this if you want, but hoping to get it ordered here July 1 so the teachers can have it over the summer. That's the reason to go ahead and get it. That's the second and third grade. We already have 4th through 6th. And it was well received. So they went ahead second, third. It'll be 3-year purchase, right?
Yes, 3 years.
Yep. Totals in the read along.
Motion, Josh,
Second.
all in favor?
Summer maintenance work, we had 3 different projects that they wanted to complete this summer that were above and beyond. And that was the epoxy floor. It was the mini split down in the annex. They tried to solve that in a variety of ways. That's the cheapest, best way to solve that at this point. And then the partitions, we have put up several a couple of years ago that have served us pretty well. And so there's a few more down there that are really in pretty ragged condition. Been around the district for many, many years. So I'd like to get those updated. If you want, you could do that as a total amount, I think.
I didn't realize bathroom partitions were so much.
So expensive. And I think that was the quote that said the price goes up. Was that the one that said it goes
In
up?
July, I think, yeah.
7%.
Yeah.
7% increase.
Well, the total amount, well, it's in your read. If you want to do that as one, if you all want to do it separately, however you want to do it, if you want to. Which floors? Oh, elementary, there was one Peeps.
I read it. I just
I put it in there and I didn't
Is that
rewrite
the
it.
epoxy?
was trying to figure out which, it seems like miss this one every time.
Funny, we could have.
60. I I mean, we can approve it and see if we can get a quote to.
I'm right here.
It's been rough for a few years.
So are we gonna do them all together or just do each one?
Maybe separately.
I think
Separate
separate.
companies.
So the epoxy looks like 11,250.
Yeah.
And it was is it DLT flooring?
Yep, DLT flooring,
Okay.
11,250.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Epoxy floors in men's and women's bathrooms.
Is that all it said? I said, I put it in the Friday update, but now I'm trying to find it.
But it doesn't say which
Can't
men's and
remember.
women's bathrooms.
So it's got an option.
It's the-
though, to tear
No, I didn't even put it in there.
Because I looked at
I didn't-
partitions, it says, I think
Yep.
it says on partitions which
Yep,
ones
I didn't
it
even put
is.
it in there.
I don't think it's the full. That's
It's
okay.
just- All it says is men and women. Men's is 390 square feet, women's is 300.
Was it
Here's the
the
floor.
middle school?
Here's the floor, it's the Peeps, middle school, high school, and 2-story ceramic floors. And the staff ceramic with the large square. Oh, no, sorry. Those are the ones he's not redoing. There was one Peep. Can't read my handwriting on middle school. They're not doing high school and 2-story because it was a ceramic.
Oh, because they're doing it on just concrete.
Yep, they're doing it on a different kind of floor. And the staff already has the ceramic large square, so wasn't doing that.
So we have to have.
That's probably why.
Tear out. We have him get a quote on it. Dated, see what it cost.
I don't know, because it might change his number if he's gonna be here.
You give him the go ahead to do, oh, I see what you mean.
Since he's already here. I don't know.
Probably adjust it on the invoice at the end if you decide to do that though.
It's too late, we've already made a motion.
It didn't get voted on.
No, we didn't.
We gotta ask for a second.
Get a second. No, I'm just figuring out his work. Chuck, you worried about it? Am I trying to charge?
No, I didn't know if it might.
That's something I think he could go back. So
I'm okay.
Get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Josh second, all you.
Carl did say if they could get up there and get it torn out, it'll only be 9,000, but we figured it'd be best to get the, in case they can't get up there to get the. The mini split was 5,500. It sure is.
Yeah.
It sure is. He and I talked about that, and he said they're going to try to tear it out themselves if they can. The mini split was 5,500
Where's this go?
down in the annex, and it's it just does all the work for us. I think it's fine. It did.
But there is a lot to them.
That's the elementary. 11 good for
I know, I'm like, is there?
It probably doesn't meet the ADA code.
an experiment. Film in one or two bathrooms and see if it holds up.
The problem is they're gonna cut some kind of designs out of them, and then you're gonna be able to see through them, and then
Just
here we go.
See, there's a whole thing. Look at that.
Handshake room.
Opening the
The boys will do something, they'll know just where to tap for this piece to fall out.
Yeah, I'd say we probably need to get some more quotes on that. My opinion.
On the partitions as well.
Partitions.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all we can do.
Hey, didn't Keith do one?
Yeah.
The back,
We just have to make a few more
Okay.
calls.
Keith
Yeah,
do that.
significantly.
That seems a little
Okay.
high.
I thought so, but I
You had me-
haven't priced those
Yeah,
kind
price
of things lately.
partitions lately?
Yeah, so.
I understand.
Okay, so we're tabling those two. Okay, so the next one is the maintenance supply order, and he's used to use 2 companies, and now uses 4, tries to get the very best value that he can. All the supplies that we need.
Good job, doer.
Yep, doer, doing
Doer's
a good
doing it
job.
again.
So Springfield Paper, Hilliard, New Systems, and Butler Supply are the 4 companies that he's gotten all the quotes from and worked out, trying to keep quality high for the products that we're getting, as well as the cheapest price he can. Total cost for all that's $13,692.77. I'd like to order.
I make a motion we approve.
Have a motion?
Budget.
Second.
We gotta do that list.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's not midnight.
It's only 8 o'clock.
Only 8 o'clock. I'm gonna get supper after all.
Set July.
Going to your-
We're not done yet, lady.
That's true. Won't.
What are we looking at, the 16th?
I don't know. I'm not available.
Honestly,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought July was your last.
I'm so sorry to disappoint you there. I'll be popping.
Well,
I'll be in the
He
pocket.
doesn't look sorry about
Waving,
it.
wave hello.
We should have paid more
Just wave
attention
along.
because the exiting superintendent should have brought dinner.
Oh, okay. Now you go.
Saying.
Now you go. When I saw that long agenda, I thought, why are we not doing dinner? That's exactly what.
you
Almost
didn't-
got,
'cause you
almost
didn't
got
buy
you guys some ding dongs today at the quick shop. I'm like, no, we don't prolong
It
it.
would have been fitting.
The 16th?
Does that work for you? 16?
Totally.
That's real
You
early.
do it?
Normally, we
Today's
can't go,
17th.
yeah, we can't go
It's true, but it is
beyond the
early.
15th.
I think it'll work. I think statement comes out in the credit card. I think
Good with it if you are.
yeah, I'll make it work.
Doug, are you around that night?
Yep.
I think you might want to be here.
You might want to show up here.
All right, then. So we don't need a motion or anything then. We're actually gonna leave it alone?
Wow.
That's crazy.
First time in a few
Kind
months.
of like Darla making motion. This night is just, who knows
It
what's
is.
going
Full
on.
of surprise.
I mean, full
Now,
of surprise.
what are we doing on this?
We have to have a motion to go into executive session.
Yeah.
Oh,
Second.
Second.
Not in favor?
Darla can have it.
Being generous.
We all said yes.
Because my
One thing
tire
about-
caught on fire the last day of
We
school.
got to shut her down.
That was you.
Yes.